Welcome to the deep dive. We like to take those books on your reading list and really get to the heart of them.
Like a shortcut to insight.
Yeah, exactly. And today we are diving deep into Tell Me Everything, the latest from Elizabeth Strout. Now, at first glance, this might seem like just a simple collection of stories. Small town, Maine, interconnected characters.
But there's a real depth here. It's like a tapestry of these unrecorded lives. Strout really brings them to light.
Yeah, and it's amazing how she takes a school cafeteria worker or someone you might just see on a train, just a fleeting glance.
Right.
And she shows how extraordinary their lives really are.
These characters, they're dealing with some really universal stuff. I mean, love, loss, just trying to find a connection in a world that can feel, pretty indifferent.
Okay, so for this deep dive, you gave us the novel itself, obviously, but also a few literary reviews, kind of get some different perspectives.
Yeah, always good to see what the critics are saying.
Exactly. So our mission today, if you will, is to really figure out what makes these unrecorded lives so captivating.
Right.
And what does Strout's storytelling tell us about the human experience?
Yeah.
About all of us.
Yeah, good question.
Well, there's this one line from Lucy Barton, the writer. She's kind of our guide through all these stories.
Okay.
And she says, all these unrecorded lives, and people just live them.
Mm.
It's simple, but kind of profound, don't you think?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, it makes you realize that, everyone you meet, everyone you pass on the street, they have a whole history.
Right.
A whole universe of experience that you might never even know about. And Strout really, invites us to look beyond the surface.
Yeah, to see the depth and complexity of each person.
Okay.
Like Gloria Beach, for instance. I mean, she's introduced as Bitch Ball, the cafeteria worker. Everyone knows her for being gruff.
Right. You think you've got her pegged?
Yeah, but then through her journal entries, which Strout weaves into the narrative, we learn about, the losses she suffered, the traumas she's been through.
Yeah, and it totally changes how you see her. You realize those hidden wounds, they shape how she interacts with everyone.
It really is like that saying, don't judge a book by its cover.
Or a person by their cafeteria demeanor.
Exactly. And it makes you wonder, how many other unrecorded lives are we just passing by every day without truly seeing them?
Right, yeah. That's a good question.
And Strout, she explores relationships too, how they change and evolve over time.
Right. They're never static.
No, not at all. Like Bob Burgess, he's one of the central characters, and he has all these complex connections with his brother, his wives, even Lucy Barton herself.
Yeah, his relationships they're full of both, tenderness and conflict. It's like a constant negotiation.
Yeah, like with his wife, Margaret. He wants to comfort her after they lose their child, but he just can't.
He doesn't know how.
Right, and he misinterprets her silence, her withdrawal. And it ends up just pushing her further away.
It's really sad, because even in loving relationships, sometimes we don't truly see each other.
Or understand each other.
Exactly. And Strout, she's so good at portraying these little details, the unspoken things, the tension.
Right. It's like she's giving us this magnifying glass to look at the human heart.
Yeah.
All its complexities.
Yeah. Yeah, and she's not afraid to show the darker side of human nature, too. Like when they find Gloria Beach's body in the quarry pool.
Oh, yeah. That was a turning point.
It really shakes up the whole community. People have to face some uncomfortable truths, some secrets that have been buried for a long time.
And her son, Matt, becomes a suspect.
Right, and we see Bob struggling with his own past as he tries to defend Matt.
It's like that event, that tragedy... It unearths everything.
Resentments, the fragility of the community, it's all just laid bare.
And it makes you think about, guilt and innocence and how trauma can affect people, for years.
Absolutely. And the justice system, too. It can be, a force for good, but also sometimes it perpetuates the very things it's trying to solve.
It's complicated.
It is. And Strout doesn't shy away from that.
Now, Strout also looks at aging, how it feels to get older and try to find connection in later life.
Right, like Olive Kitteridge.
Yeah, she's a widow now, living in this retirement community. And she's, dealing with loneliness, the loss of independence.
Yeah, and that fear of becoming invisible. Like the world's just passed you by.
She's still that same sharp-tongued Olive, but underneath you can see the vulnerability, the longing for connection.
Her relationship with her son's wife, Amy, that's a tough one.
Oh yeah, there's a lot of unspoken tension there. Resentment, maybe even a little bit of respect.
A lot of people can probably relate to that. In-law relationships, they can be tricky.
But even with all the difficult relationships and struggles in this book, there's also this sense of hope.
Yeah. You see characters finding moments of peace, of connection in unexpected places.
Like there's this really touching scene where Olive is watching these two women talking on the sidewalk.
Oh, yeah.
And she's just so moved by their simple connection.
It's a reminder that, sometimes those everyday moments, they can be the most powerful.
Exactly. And it shows that even when things are tough, there's still beauty to be found. There's still connection. There's still grace.
And Strout doesn't give us easy answers or tie everything up neatly at the end.
No, she just lets us witness the messiness of life. The beauty of it.
Complexity of it all.
Right. Both the things we share with the world and the things we keep hidden, the recorded and the unrecorded. She's reminding us that even in ordinary lives, there's this incredible depth of experience.
And break and joy.
And that potential for real, profound change.
Tell me everything really is a testament to the human spirit, to our resilience.
Yeah. It's a book that stays with you long after you finish reading it.
Oh, absolutely. It makes you look at the world, look at the people around you with more empathy, more understanding, and it makes you think about your own assumptions. What stories are you telling yourself about the people you meet?
Right.
And what are their stories, the ones they carry inside that you might never know?
Yeah. You mentioned forgiveness earlier, and I kept thinking about Bob and his brother Jim.
Oh, yeah. Their relationship it's really strained. Years of resentment, just a different way of looking at the world.
Like Bob, he's this successful lawyer. Everything's about control, order.
Right.
But Jim, he's a carpenter. He's much more comfortable with uncertainty.
And then Jim's wife, Helen, she dies.
Yeah, and it's her funeral that forces them to face each other.
All those old wounds, they just resurface.
Yeah. But it's also in that grief that you see a glimmer of understanding between them.
Bada sees how much Jim loved Helen, how vulnerable he is.
And he starts to see his brother in a new light.
It's like a reminder that, forgiveness isn't about saying what happened was okay.
Right.
It's about letting go of this anger, the resentment that's eating you up inside.
Yeah. And Strout shows how messy that process can be.
But also how beautiful.
Another thing that struck me was how Strout portrays love, like in all its different forms.
Right. It's not always romantic or simple.
No, not at all. Like with Bob's feelings for Lucy and Margaret, it makes you question what love really is, what commitment means.
Can you love two people at the same time?
Yeah. What happens when what you want and what you should do, they clash.
Strout doesn't, give us the answers.
No.
But she shows us the situation, honestly. Makes us think about it.
And there's this really powerful moment when Bob realizes how deeply he loved his sister-in-law, Helen, but only after she's gone.
Oh, man. It just hits you in the gut. We take people for granted. We don't always appreciate them until it's too late.
It makes you want to tell the people you love how much they mean to you while you still can.
Exactly. Strout also explores how art can be transformative, like with Matt Beach, Gloria's son.
Yeah, he finds solace in his painting.
He captures the beauty of nature, finds a kind of peace that he can't find anywhere else.
And it connects him with Catherine Caskey, the social worker. She sees his talent, and she wants to help him.
It shows how creativity can be a way to heal.
To process your emotions, to find meaning.
And it reminds us that we all need those outlets, the things that feed our souls.
So The novel's ending, it's not, perfectly wrapped up, but it does offer a sense of hope.
Yeah, like a new beginning.
You see characters taking steps toward healing, toward new connections, finding a purpose.
Like Bob, he starts to really see his wife, Margaret, her strength.
And he realizes how much they've been through together.
And Lucy, she's been watching all these lives unfold, and now she wants to go back to Crosby.
Maybe to connect with her roots, to find her own place.
Even Matt, after everything he's been through, he reaches out for help.
Yeah. He's ready to face his past.
It's not a happy ending, exactly, but it shows how resilient people can be, how we can grow even after terrible things happen.
Strout brings all these threads together. It's like a tapestry of the human experience.
She shows us the little details of relationships, the things people don't say.
The struggles of getting older.
Yeah.
The search for connection in a world that can feel pretty lonely.
And she reminds us that even ordinary lives are full of beauty, of heartache, of the possibility for change.
Tell Me Everything is a book that will stay with you. It's a quiet masterpiece that makes you think about empathy, but all those unrecorded lives around us.
And it makes you think about your own story. You know, what moments shaped you? How do you connect with the world?
It's a book that will stay with you, make you think, make you feel. Tell Me Everything is an invitation to dive deep into the human condition.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're looking for a book that will really get under your skin, Tell Me Everything is definitely it.
Yeah, it's a must read. If you appreciate those nuanced characters, Strout's insights into human nature.
Right. And if you want to really dive deep into the heart of those ordinary lives, the ones we don't always see.
Exactly.
You can find a link to buy the book in the show notes.
Yeah, check it out.
We highly recommend it. Take your own deep dive into Strout's world.
And be sure to subscribe to the deep dive. We're always exploring new topics, new books.
Always learning, just like you.
Exactly.
So until next time, keep diving deep.